So we're talking today to Maury Birnbaum, who is a professor in the Department of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania. Maury, I was speaking to you earlier about some misunderstandings that European students and international students have about the study of medicine in the United States.
Right. So in the United States, medical school follows a typical four-year undergraduate course. So typically, when students are in their last year of college, they apply to medical school, and which is, again, typically a four-year experience. Some students actually take longer because they do research in medical school, often taking off a year. There's some schools which actually demand it. But typically it's a four-year course of study. And then afterwards, there is additional study to become an independent practicing physician.
So first of all, there are 4 years of the bachelor's program,
First 4 years of the bachelor
typically
program.
in science.
Typically in science, there are more and more colleges that are, more and more medical schools that are open to students who aren't, who don't take the pre-medical course as an undergraduate, but even if you take another degree of study as an undergraduate, there still is a long list of courses that are required for admission to medical school, and you have to somehow get those courses taken
Because you
also.
need to be prepared to succeed in medical school.
Yes.
So 4 years at the bachelor's level.
Right.
And then competition for entrance to medical school in the United States is pretty severe.
It's very, very severe. It's still one of the most popular choices for graduates. So it's intensely competitive. One of the most competitive. And in fact, it's several years ago it looked like the applications were going to had peaked and were beginning to decrease a bit, but now the competition is back up. There's many people. There's an effort to train more physicians, but as of now, there are no new medical schools opening, so it's an extremely competitive process.
And as you mentioned, even after a person finishes medical school, and how many years is that?
So medical school is typically 4 years.
So a total of 8 years at university. A person's still not licensed to practice medicine.
Right. So once you finish medical school, you have to take what's called postgraduate training to be a licensed physician. The length of time for that training depends on what type of medicine you want to practice, but the range is probably starting at around 2 to 3 years minimum. But for some subspecialties, some which require a lot, particularly ones requiring a lot of technical skills, like some types of surgeons, even after the 8 years of college and medical school, there's still an addition up to 10 years of additional training afterwards.
10 years?
10 years. For things like neurosurgeon and some of those, it could be 9 years. Well, the course of training usually is a generalized preparation for in your area, which in surgery could be 4 to 6 years. And then if you want to really specialize, there are special fellowships to take afterwards. That would be on the extreme side. For example, in my case, I took 3 additional years after medical school to train in a residency program.